Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? 210-3 in the hizzy, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know it's kind of odd time, I guess. Again, it's 11:30. I did a live stream, guys, a little while ago over here on the lifeboat. If you guys want to go over here and check this out, you guys would be doing me a favor for sure. Go over and give them a subscribe, okay, please. I'm just asking if you guys could. We could use a little bit of support right now. It definitely would help. Okay. Let's let's get rid of that. Remove. Okay. So yeah. Anyhow, anyway, anywho. Woo woo. Woo woo. Going to tell you woo woo. Hey, Chris, there you are. Okay, so let me add you, buddy, to I don't know why that didn't happen before, but there you go. You should have your rents now, brother. If you guys don't know Chris, hey Flamin', what's up, brother? Love you, man. Chris is one of my favorite Canucks. Yeah. Hey, Chris, did you hear what just happened up there? You might be aware of this already, but they shut the ATMs down, or they're not working right now in Canada. Just Canada. Just saying. So everybody needs to understand. Anybody up there, you guys might want to check on that. If you guys don't know that yet, where did I find that out at? Marfoogle. He did a little... short little minute video, and I believe he's live right now, or is going to be soon. So anybody that is yours worked, okay. I'm not sure. I guess it just happened not too long ago. I don't know the specifics on it. I just So, but if you're up there, please pay attention, guys. Yeah, for sure. Space River News. That's 100%. Hey, Cindy Lou, what's up? Cheryl, Vicky, good to see everybody in here. I really appreciate you guys stopping in. I guess, yeah, that could be it too, Chris. He says just maybe in Ottawa, for sure. 100%. With some questions, please let me know if that... Oh, yeah, for sure, Lady Diane, go ahead. Send them off to me. I'll be sure I check my email and stuff. I typically do anyway, guys, at least every couple days. With me doing the Lifeboat channel here with Tommy, I most certainly, did he just get done with this show, Whitetail? Okay. And anybody here that's from Marfoogle, thank you guys for coming over from last night. There was I think I gained like 500 subscribers last night. That's really, really cool that you guys did that. I really appreciate you. And something else I would say is that, if you like what I do, please come over here to the Lifeboat and, help us get this channel going too. It's a positive platform over here, guys. And we are, that's all we do is positivity, but it's about addiction. And, I had a pill addiction, and I still had the addiction. I'm just in recovery, and I've never relapsed in over almost 11 years. So, but what I'm saying here is that's really not even important to what I'm trying to say. It's just, if anybody's having issues, please come over here. We can help you get to where you need to get. We're not doctors or anything, but we're all good people over here. We all want the best for everybody. And we do have quite a bit of knowledge on this subject. So if you're having issues, or if you have somebody in your family that has these issues with addiction, alcohol, pills, heroin, all that stuff, guys, please come over here, support us over here. We've got an addiction recovery doctor going to do a interview with us on Friday at 3 Eastern. Okay. Hey, Courtney, what's going on? Thank you for coming over to the Lifeboat, Courtney. I really appreciate you. It's awesome. It's awesome that you are the brother-in-law of an Alice in Chains member. That's awesome. I mean, awesome. Yes, look up the lifeboat on Facebook also. You guys, you won't get ignored over there. People will talk to you. Okay, I promise. And it's nobody's ever rude. Well, if Flamin's there, I guarantee you're gonna get said, "Hey, we love you." Hey, Scott. So yeah, guys, please go over here and check it out. It's one of those things where I'm really passionate about this. I really am, because we're helping people and it's helping me. It helps me really stay focused on what I need to be doing, and it's helped me realize what's important in life, to be honest with you. It really has. It's just one of those, right? Oh yeah, for sure, Dirty Skies. I mean, that's definitely, yeah, after I got off the phone with Mark Fugel last night, within 45 minutes, I had 500 extra subscribers. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean, so much. And Scott's in here too, guys. Show Scott some love. So yeah. So let's just go ahead and get into this. I don't want to make this real long, because people just don't watch when it's real long. And, I get it. So anyway, Schumann Resonance. Not going to waste a whole much time here. There you go. There's nothing much going on here. If you guys want some good information about the Schumann, please go over to Verte Arbuoto's channel. His channel is linked in my description box. Please go down there and check him out. Show him some love. We got to support our own community. Guys. Well, thanks, Larry. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully you'll go over there and subscribe too. Or if that's what you meant, well, thank you for that too. We really want to build that channel over there, guys, because we are helping people get into recovery. And it's great to see people do that. Well, thanks, Georgina. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you guys, hey, Keith, what's up? Yeah, spread the love for sure. Check out Planet X News, guys. I mean, that's Scott. That's my brother right there, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, guys, go check him out. And check everybody else out. We got to support everybody. You know what I'm saying? What do I say all the time? Watch everything, and then use your mind. That's cool, Larry. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you like it hearing, you start trusting what I'm saying and doing. Please give the lifeboat a shot, and everybody else that's here. Nobody here is going to be negative. I promise you that. If they are being negative, they won't be here long, because we just won't address it. We won't even talk negative stuff. We just don't. So, but yeah, so we got to support each other. This, we got to understand. And Mark Pires also, right? All positivity. We're not going to send you to somebody that's going to scream at you. Just not going to happen. It's not productive at all. So, anyway, and everybody I just said, if they're sometimes you just give information, and that's cool. They'll show you stuff. There it is. This is what it is. This is what we've been doing. Here it is. And I've actually went that kind of direction myself here, guys. I want to get you guys the information, and I know that I'm long-winded. I really do. I understand this. And that's why I try to keep this thing a little bit more focused. But I did want to give this a little bit of an explanation right now. And, I just want you guys also to be aware that, again, there is a lot of other channels out there that talk about space weather and everything else that's going on. This is just what I've chosen to concentrate on. I want to concentrate on just the weather data and stuff like that. Stuff that's happening on the sun out there and just blowing our way and doing all that. And that's really what I have my knowledge on, and, I learn. And I have progressed in that way, and that's really my focus. I don't really have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of extra stuff. And I'm just being, my daughter turns 15 tomorrow. I got, full-grown adult boys, and it's, that is my life, right? And the fact that I could come here and you guys trust me enough to listen, it's humbling. It really is. So I do try to respect you guys and your time. And I know I just wasted 5 minutes saying all that, so let's move on. But yeah. So, what you got here? This is this one, right? We're going to talk about this big eruption on the sun, guys. and I'm not even going to waste your time by making you wait to see it. This was no joke. Okay, I think Scott did a video on this too, guys. Go check it out. Planet X News. He did a video on this today too, I believe, earlier this morning when this first happened. But as you can see this, guys, look at this thing. I mean, this is a big eruption, guys. I do think we dodged a bullet here. I really, truly do. This thing was not only concentrated plasma, it was moving fast. And I'm not talking just like a little bit faster than normal. We're talking like speed demon fast. To put it in perspective, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over here to the Enlil spiral. This is NASA's version of it. Hey, Sherelle, good to see you. So, check this out, guys. I mean, Earth's over here, right? I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay? So, what we got there? That's the Earth. This is the Sun. Okay, and what you're looking at here, guys, I haven't explained this in a minute. This is a top-down version, side view. You're in the middle. And then you got Earth's orbital line stretched out in a straight line. So, reason why they do that, you got 3 axis points that you really need to have to see the correct angle that these things are traveling, what direction they're going, right? Because space is a big area. And the sun's roughly 93 million miles away from us. So, yeah, that should put in perspective of actually how big these things are when these things blow off, right? And these dashed lines, that's the IMF line. Okay, the sun is connected to absolutely everything magnetically through these interplanetary magnetic field lines, including us. So even when things blow off on the far side, because we are connected to the sun, we may not notice it a whole lot, but it does affect us a little bit. We don't usually talk about that because it's usually no big deal. And it's not this time. But make no mistake, when that thing hit, when that blew over here, watch these IMF lines just, look what it did to that one. This, that's Bepi. That's a satellite that's out there, right here. Okay? It's connected to satellites, IMF lines, right? If we were in space, we would be connected to this thing, right? Connected with an interplanetary magnetic, that's what it would be. So anyway, as you can see this, see how it bends it and just like drags it out? So remember that. Everything's connected. Even if it's on the backside of the sun, we're still in some way, shape, or form connected to all of that. Now, like I said, I want to preface that by saying, listen, let's just do this the right way and say that that's really not going to bother us, right? Because it's not. It may move our magnetics a little bit, but something that blows off over here, typically we don't even usually talk about it. And the reason why we're talking about it now, because this one was huge. This was a big one. And when I say big, I'm not talking about area. I'm talking about the size of it. Not the size of it, but the powerfulness of it. I would venture to say that if we were able to see this thing, and if it was right in front of us and blew our direction, this most definitely, we're looking at it, I would say low end G3 storm. And obviously high end would be like a G5. Now, I can't say nothing about the flaring. If there was any kind of big, huge flare with this, we couldn't tell. It was on the back side. Flares are measured typically by X-ray. And those go out in all directions, so they have to be here where we can see them in order for them to hit us, right? So we don't know what size flare, if there was one with it. Now, I'm assuming there probably was, okay? With these big ones, usually they're both present. You get a flare, and then this big, huge CME happens. Sometimes you can get a decent size one with like a filament release. That would just be plasma just shooting off, right? Well, back at you, Count Coop. Good to see you. So it does definitely affect everything, right? So I've been noticing a little bit of some weird stuff, and I haven't really talked about it much, but there is some question on whether or not when things happen on the sun, how fast we react to it. Well, I've been seeing, like, when we see, like, these big flares and stuff, I've noticed the past couple times, you're seeing the satellite react almost instantaneously. You know, and that would have to be some sort of magnetic connection, in my opinion. And it's just my opinion, you know. And again, you're going to have people on all sides of that. Some people are going to say, no, you know, not really. And some other people, well, it might be possible. And some other people are going to be like, yes, that absolutely happens. Okay. So you can, wherever, it depends on where you're looking, right? So do your own research. And I'm saying that honestly, do your own research and go look. And, you know, I'm showing you some tools right here where you can go look. This is ISWA. I'll drop that link right now in the chat. Okay. Paste. There you go. All right. So there is the ISWA link. If you want to get to any of these, that's all you have to do is click that link and come over here to ISWA and start messing around. You can't jack it up. Okay. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're not going to get to see what you want to see. So don't be afraid to come over here. So here's core 2. This is stereo, not core 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's core 2, but this is stereo A. It's basically our side view, which is becoming more and more frontal position because it's slowly coming towards Earth in the orbit. It's about, I think what are they, like 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are, but they're kind of in the same orbital path around the sun. We're just spread out. And actually I can just show you that right here. Look, here's the Earth. This is stereo B and this is stereo A. Now, a couple years ago when I showed you stereo A, it was over here. It was close to 90 degrees. And I think when they first put them out there, it might even have been a little bit further than 90 degrees. They put stereo A and stereo B. And we're not going to go into that big discussion because that's a whole show in itself. But yeah, so you got that. You got this big eruption, okay? And obviously that is actually the most recent capture right there. What you're seeing there, guys, is most likely just charged particles hitting the camera. Okay? There's an off chance it might be some sort of meteor dust or something. But typically what these are just charged particles hitting the camera. We see them a lot. It's not nothing out of the ordinary. But as you can see here, we'll just kind of go a little slow here and watch this eruption. Now remember that black disk is not the center of the sun or the surface of the sun. The white disk in the middle is. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in and give you guys a better look. How about that? Yeah, it's a good question, Keith. I don't even know where it was at. Let's look. He's asking about the Parker solar probe, Parker SP. I don't think it was back here. I think, where is it at? They usually plot it here. Where'd it go? Huh. I thought it was like a green diamond. It's not even on there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Keith, I don't know. I can't answer that question for you, man. The Parker SP is usually plotted on this graph, guys. It's not there. So, that does happen from time to time with all these, okay? And I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but that is interesting, I have to say. It's interesting that that's not there right now. It's usually plotted here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's look here before we start talking about that. Yeah, it doesn't show any satellites on this one. Yeah, I don't have a good answer for you there, man. Wish I did. Good question. I have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, or did you try to, but yeah, magnetic connections is on everything, guys. I mean, yeah, makes a good point. So, anyway, where was I at? I was here at ISWA, right? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this and see that thing, guys. I mean, and you're getting a little bit of missing data, but that's pretty normal. We do see missing data all the time. I mean, it's just part of the game here. So anyway, what you're doing there, guys, you're seeing that blow off. Now remember, to give you, get your bearings here, Earth is here. Okay? And the satellite is looking at the sun always, so it's right in the middle. Just pretend that you can grab it and pull it towards your face. If you could, that point right there where my cursor is, if you could pull that thing back 92 million miles, that's where the satellite would be. And Earth would be over here, 93 million miles that direction. Okay? So I mean, this is substantial. This is something that's big. I do think we dodged a bullet here in the fact that this could have given us some issues. I think this would have been the biggest one we had if it was our way in a very long time. And I'm saying this for very specific reasons, because this was concentrated in a lot of ways, and this was also very, very fast. It moved fast. The faster things move, the harder it usually hits. It's not always the case, and not to mention that, especially if you took a direct hit, okay, because you would have this one really has like a really big core of plasma with it. And not to mention, it's a big halo. Now, this is LASCO C2. This is on the SOHO Observatory satellite that's out in front of the Earth about 1 million miles closer to the sun. Right? Do I think the polar shift affects this? You talking about the magnetic north and south? I don't think that affects the sun. I think when we get hit with things, it most definitely does affect our magnetic field. Which is, keep this in mind, guys, our magnetic field is constantly in motion. Even the angle of it, and where it's like big and where it's a little bit more thick or thinner in some places, cracks, holes, all of this, right? So as we grab this, what we're going to see here, this is basically from our view. So this is going to give us our view. Now remember, that big red disc there, guys, is a physical disc on the camera blocking out the main light of the sun. If it wasn't there, we wouldn't even get an image. It would just be blinded white, right? So as you can see here, when we see these things, our butts pucker for a second, because we don't know if it's going off the back or coming towards us until we go look at the other things, which I already showed you the side view, so we know it's not coming at us. Okay? Not to mention that the other models have already updated, and a lot of the data's in now, so we know it's not coming at us. It's not coming at us. So anyway, this is what we call a halo. And what you're seeing here is this rough area. And whenever you see that, that means that it's fairly large and typically pretty powerful. Now, this is what we need to talk about. That is intense, dense plasma. Okay? What's plasma? Charged gas. That's all plasma is. It's that fourth state of matter that I've been talking about for, what now, year and a half, 2 years now? I kind of emphasize that because people forget that is the fourth state of matter, right? You got solid, liquid, gas, and then you got plasma, which is charged gas. And this plasma likes to hang around, and, like in our ionosphere, our magnetic field deflects quite a bit of this stuff, but some of it does get through, and it's just, again, when we're talking about gas, it's not really visible to our human eye. And that's why certain gases are, but other ones aren't. And that's why we use these filters. It filters out, and it shows us just 1 angstrom of light. That's what these extreme ultraviolet captures are over here. So the 131 angstrom is this. They've assigned it this color. It's not actually that color. They're just showing you that gas, and they've decided to make it teal. Okay? That's just something they did. I get to be here 2 ages. Will this turn and something self do this towards her? Yes, that's a very good. I know what you're saying there, Kathy. I know the words are kind of mumbled there a little bit. But what she's asking, guys, is this spot rotating, and is it going to rotate in front of us eventually and possibly give us more issues? Yes, it is. It's rotating towards the sun. It rotates counterclockwise, just like the Earth does. Okay. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but what we have to understand with the sun, like right here, the north and south hemispheres of the sun, they rotate at different speeds than what the equatorial does. Okay? So they're rotating at different speeds. You're probably asking yourself, well, how can it do that? Hey, Trish, because it's not a rock like we are. Okay? It's a big ball of gas and plasma and stuff, right? So it does rotate at different speeds on the sun. The sun actually itself rotates at different speeds depending on where you're standing on it, right? Not that you could stand on it, but hey, John, good to see you, man. Glad to see you made it alive. So, and this is the whole reason why the thing, it does a polarity flip, which is our sun cycle, roughly every 11 years. And if you notice here, you see the sunspots? See how they're all hanging out roughly the same area? As we progress in our sun cycle, you're going to see these things become more and more equatorial. Why is that? Because at the beginning of the sun cycle, when it first does its pole flip, the magnet, the lines are vertical. So then how do they get to be sideways? Well, just like I just said, the equatorial region is rotating at a different speed than the north and south. So it pulls those lines, and it takes some time. So as all this stuff starts to happen, and as we get to solar maximum, you'll see these sunspots on north and south start migrating towards the equatorial region, and right around the peak of it all, you'll see it. A lot of them are just right equatorial. You won't see too many on the pole regions. They still do happen. So what is a sunspot? Well, it's that magnetic line that's gotten pulled and it gets a kink. So it pops through the surface of the sun. That is a sunspot. So I really hope, hopefully you guys understood what I said there. But it's key. I went over that before. I do have what is CME and stuff. I have a playlist. You guys can go look at it if you want. I haven't really looked at it in a while, and I probably need to remake some of those. But anyway, as you can see here, guys, this was a large, just like plasma. It's really concentrated in this area. We don't typically see this with the normal CME type of stuff. This is a big one. Okay? Now, I'm about to show you a view that not too many other people have probably shown you. I don't know for a fact this time, but the only other place I seen it was over at spaceweather.com, which please go over there and show them some love. They deserve it because they know what they're talking about, first off. But right here, check this out. Okay? Now, I don't typically show you guys this extreme ultraviolet version from Stereo A. Okay, remember I said these are two different satellites, right? This one here is from SDO. That's from right out in front of us. Okay? That's the view there. This extreme ultraviolet, which is a 304, and it is highly pixelated, but if you wait a few days, they will they'll upload a more defined and a more high def version of this. Okay? The communication factor there kind of makes them have to do that. So yeah. But as you can see here, guys, look at this. Looks like a road flare, man. That thing is, it's been so long since I've seen, I don't know that I've actually seen one that actually looked exactly like this. But again, remember, this is our side view, so this is definitely going off the back side. We know that for sure. But this spot where this is at, it's going to take it a minute to get in front of us. So we're just going to have to watch it. We can't really do a whole lot. We can't physically see back there, but they do have ways of knowing what's back there by the technology they use by magnetic signatures, and we'll go over that in just a second. But that concentration is just crazy. Again, it's not like we've never seen that before, but this sun cycle, man, that's up there with, hey, Kinley, hey, BK, what's up? But yeah, hey, Russ. So anyway, you got our view, side view, okay? And then you got, this is the side view. Same, these two right here are the same satellite. Okay? That's the same satellite. Just the one on the left is a coronagraph, and the one on the right is extreme ultraviolet. That's what that is. Okay? So, but this is from the same view, and you can definitely see the resemblance. And the only, like I said, until they get more data in here, and it does take a few days, usually about 3 days behind. If you watch it, see how it's jumping around a lot? It's because you're only getting a capture every 2 hours. These are not continuous movies. So for us to catch that in that position like that, it's pretty cool. Okay? Because remember, if it snapped that picture 2 hours before, that would be that image. You see a little faint, like maybe the start of it, and then you get that, and then the 2 hours later, you got that. Okay? So that's what you have there. Now let me show it to you on the 304 from SDO. This one here is the one right out in front of us. So as I go forward here, there's what it looked like. Here, I'll go ahead and zoom in. Right here. Okay? Let me, I'll just do it this way. Okay. And what's interesting about this, guys, is after this is why one of the reasons I think this was a really strong one. After this thing explodes off, watch how long the plasma just keeps flowing off of the sun. Okay? There's the initial eruption. Now watch. Look at that. See how long that lasted? That's a pretty decent amount of time to be just sitting there flowing plasma out. That's what that is. Okay? That's it's just a flow of plasma leaving the sun. Oh yeah, Brian, I would say without a doubt. I can't say that there was even I would say that there was a flare with it, but we couldn't get any x-ray readings for anything, because it was on the other side. So really the only thing we can try to judge the strength, we would have to talk in terms of geomagnetic storm levels, because that's what we're looking at here. The flare part of it is the x-rays. And it's, and again, guys, I have to say, when a flare leaves the sun, if you hear somebody say that we're waiting on a flare to hit, they don't know what they're talking about, guys. Okay? When a flare leaves the sun, it's here in 8 minutes. Okay? We wouldn't have time to give you guys any kind of warning on that. We wouldn't even have a warning. Because think about this. This satellite that we're looking at right here is about 1 million miles close. Well, not 1 million. This one's like at 38,000 miles closer to the sun than what we are, or kilometers, something like that. This isn't even that far out there. So when the camera sees it, the camera's seeing it what happened 8 minutes ago. Because it takes time for light to travel from the sun to here. X-rays are traveling basically at the same speed. That is your flare. So if you see a flare on one of these satellites, it's hitting Earth. If it was coming our direction. Okay? So somebody says we're waiting on a flare to hit. No. If you're going to be waiting on a flare to hit, you're going to be waiting until the next one. Because that's not how it works. What we're looking for here is geomagnetic activity, which would be the CME part of an eruption. They're two different things. So that's what I would say. It really kind of, you know, I used to get it wrong too, guys. So I try not to judge people on that because it is an easy mistake. And they really didn't start studying this until the Carrington event anyway. You know, the difference of the two. So as you can see, you had a lot of plasma. Now, one thing I want to say here, if you look at this, you can see the direction the plasma is traveling. It's not raining back down to the sun. This stuff is leaving the sun. Okay, so here we'll go forward. There's the eruption. See how it keeps this going straight out? And now eventually it's going to fall back. And then just stops. Okay? Yeah, there is no warning for no flare, guys. I'm just saying. No warning whatsoever. Why? Okay. So, yeah, so that's that eruption. Now, let me show you, I was going to show you this, but nothing's going on here. I do want to explain this. This is geoelectric field. This is not magnetic field. This is our geoelectric field. Space weather's effect, or how it's inducing electrical current to our artificial electrical components. Do you think it's getting to EMP type levels? More that is like when we're talking about like power grid stuff and grid down type of situation. We're talking large X class with humongous geomagnetic storm with it, which would be a CME. So yeah, I don't think that was it. Just so you know, it would have to be, it would be way bigger than that, in my opinion, unless it was a perfect storm situation. Say we got hit with an M-class flare with a middle-sized geomagnetic storm CME, and then you had a lower level X-class flare hit right behind it. That actually is almost like a perfect storm condition, and it can most definitely cause big problems. So, but if we're just talking about one eruption, that would not take our grid out, in my opinion. But it was very strong. We would definitely have some issues with it. Massive aurora, you might see some power outages. You would see satellite issues. And I know we've talked about that, with the rockets losing 40 satellites, and then a week later, a different company fired a rocket and lost 4 satellites during similar space weather conditions, plus everything else going on geopolitically. Guys, I mean, come on, we got to pay attention. You know what I mean? But anyway, I wanted to point this out, guys. I've been talking about this for a while, and I don't have an answer for this. We're seeing an uptick just in this spot. Okay? I've noticed it for like a month now. I don't know if our magnetic field is kind of in a position where the stuff's getting in better here. But if anybody has any info on that, please send it to my email. Hey, Trinity, good to see you, girl. And so please do that if you can. I don't have an answer for it, and I want to know why. I don't know why we're seeing geoelectric, more intense conditions geoelectrically just right here. And it's not population, because that's a very valid thing to think about. And why I say population, if you look at the 3D map over here, you'll see how you have concentrated around the bigger cities, because there is more electrical components. But if it was population, you would have to take in consideration that LA's over here. Why aren't we seeing it over there? Seattle's up here. New York's over here. We're not seeing any kind of uptick there. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that this one is population. It's a great idea, though, because this is affected by population, just not in this instance, okay? And when you see that right there, that's the Appalachian Mountains. Also, the Rocky Mountains will give you a similar anomaly there on the tool. You'll see like an upside-down arrow. Let's see if I can find it. It's always there, right there. See that? That's on the downside of the Rocky Mountains there. That's always there. It's just an anomaly with the tool, and so is this area here. Okay, but the rest of it, I can't tell you why we're only getting activity in that one section, other than it's probably our magnetic field's different there. Only having one magnetosphere. Trinity, we've always had. I guess you would have to specify a little bit more. We have a bow shock and then kind of a magnetosphere and then a secondary type of thing going on. It takes a lot of explanation there to kind of really get you guys to understand. And it most certainly is a long discussion. And there's a lot of technical stuff there. And that's why I don't really typically go into that kind of a deep stuff. Because, and I'm not trying to be rude here, guys, but I don't know that everybody would understand it. I don't know if I could communicate it well enough. Yeah. I mean, we've always had that. It's kind of like a buffer there. And again, there's some explanation I would have to give for that, and it would just take so long. But guys, listen, go look it up. She knows what she's talking about. So go look it up, go research it. We kind of get what we call compression and rapid expansion. And that does kind of have a little bit to do with that double hit type of thing she's talking about. We'll get hit with space weather. It'll compress our magnetic field and we push back. So when we push back hard. And when we finally win that battle, our magnetic field will actually shoot out further than where it was. And it comes back rather quickly, actually, typically. But it does fluctuate like that. If we didn't have that little bit of a buffer, if it was like a hard wall, when that thing got cracked, could you imagine what would happen? Hey, Frequency, good to see you. Hey, Cat, what's up? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that it's, yeah. I mean, but yeah, Trinity has a good point there, guys. Please go look that up. If you want to know about our magnetic field and our magnetopause and all that, actually, there's a good source would be Tamitha Scove. And I don't know Tamitha personally, but guys, go check her out. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to space weather. It's college level explanation at yours and my level of understanding. Okay, it's free college for people that just can't do it, and you can stop and pause, go back and forth. And she has a really good way. She uses explanations that everybody can understand, and it's awesome. Yeah, right, Courtney, for sure. She's awesome. I mean, watching her is how I got a better understanding of what a sunspot was and how they're formed. And so many other things. When it comes down to the physics of things like that, she really knows what she's talking about. So please go give her a look, guys. Tamitha Scove. I'm not sure if hers is in my description box. I'd have to go look. I try to spread it out to everybody if I can. But again, she's been on the Weather Channel. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, she knows what she's talking about. And again, there's other people out there who know what they're talking about too. It's just, you can pause, rewind. If you become I'm not a Patreon member over there, but they actually help steer her channel. They, kind of decide what's going to be talked about and stuff. But this is spaceweather.com. This is another great information source. Please go give them some love. They do such a great job over here. It is ridiculous the instantaneous information you get here. It's great. And this is the only other place that I've seen anybody show you this image. It surprised me even when I seen it here, because most people don't show you this image because it's so pixelated, but this was so massive and so concentrated that it was, you know, you could really see what people are talking about here, right? So, yeah. And please go give Marth some love, guys. I mean, I can't tell you how much Marfugal has. Yeah. I mean, 500 of you guys from yesterday. You guys are awesome. I just can't even say it enough. And anybody listening to me, again, I have to say this because I'm passionate about addiction recovery. Please go over and check out the Lifeboat. Please. Actually, it's right here. Please go check them out, guys. I'm over here. I help run this channel. I actually did the show tonight. So, yeah. Please go over and check it out. We do live streams every night, 9 Eastern, 6 West Coast. And, well, Courtney was over there. And a lot of you guys were over there tonight. So please go check it out. We really are trying to help people. We've gotten people into recovery. We've helped family members understand things better. You're never going to get any judgment over here. We've got a doctor coming on Friday to do an interview. It's good stuff. So anyway, I won't talk about that no more. But anyway, you get spaceweather.com, guys. Look, I mean, they're talking about the same stuff. And I do think that once this spot gets in front of us, we're going to have to pay attention. But if you guys want to know how they can kind of tell what's going on the other side of the sun, go read this. Okay? They explain how they can tell and what kind of technology they're using to be able to see that. All right? And it's basically magnetic signatures, and there's stuff to it. But if you really want to know, you know, because there's no satellites back there, at least none that are communicating with us, you know, instantaneously. But here is the near-Earth objects. I haven't talked about this in a minute. LD is lunar distance. So 0.6 lunar distance is actually inside the distance to the moon. About halfway to the moon. Doesn't mean that it's that direction where the moon's at. It just means that that's the distance it's away from us and going to miss. That's how big it is, the diameter, and that's how fast it's moving. 9.3 kilometers a second, which none of those are very fast. And they update this constantly. Now, I haven't talked about noctilucent clouds in a minute. We do have noctilucent clouds. This is meteor dust. It's water vapor that freezes around meteor dust around our poles in the summertime in each hemisphere. Okay? That's what you're seeing there. They're blue metallic looking clouds. So yeah. And again, guys, this thing is going way longer than I ever anticipated it to. Let's see, how long are we going so far? 48 minutes, that ain't too bad. I want to end it before an hour. I was trying to, well, thanks, lady. I appreciate you. I really would appreciate, guys, if you could. I mean, just go over and give it a subscription. The more we can get word out that there is help out there for people, and there's people out there that actually care. This opiate thing in our country and in our world is a catastrophe. It really is. And again, I've never kept secret the fact that I was addicted and I'm in recovery. Have been for 11 years. I share that with people because I want people to understand that it's okay as long as you're trying to do better. Thanks, Chris. He's one of my favorite Canucks, baby. So yeah, sorry guys, I had to take a drink of my pop there. But yeah, so we'll take a look at the earthquakes real quick. We do have a couple decent sized ones that happened. That's a fairly good big one right there, guys. It's a 6.8, almost a 7. Nothing really bad came of it. Not that I seen. And obviously we had the one that happened, I believe they were saying like caused landslides and stuff. I can't remember exactly where that one was at. I am not the earthquake guy. I show it to you because I do believe that space weather does affect this. You know, at what level or how much, I can't say for certain. I'm just not that knowledgeable about it. Go check out Ron Tyler. over at Emergency Management Associates. Yeah, Trinity, I'm sorry you went through that. We were praying for you for sure, always. That's never easy. Guys, I mean, I haven't shared a whole lot here with it, but I did on the lifeboat. My best friend found his son passed away. In his house. And it wasn't like an overdose or anything like that. He had a seizure while he was sleeping. And I'm not going to go into any more detail on that, other than to say that it's devastating for all of us that care about him and anybody else. And I have to say this: if it wasn't for things like the lifeboat, I can't say that I wouldn't have wanted to go do the bad things again. When stuff like that hits, right? And that's why I think that this channel here, we don't judge people over here. There's a lot of times people come over here and they're either high or drunk. We don't judge them for that. We encourage them to stay. And we talk to them and we try to get them to a place where they're going to go get some help. And we have avenues for that. We're not doctors, but we have real life. Tommy fought it too. It still is. We always fight it for the rest of our lives, right? He was in prison. And, he robbed banks, robbed a casino, did a lot of stuff. Yes, you can post your interview there, Chris, for sure. Chris did an interview over there. Something else, guys. I know you guys know Rip Curl. Guys, go give him some love too. Everybody probably knows who he is. And I've said he's a good friend of mine. He did an interview on the lifeboat too. Okay? Similar stuff. Had to get help for, pills. And we're not afraid to share it because we want people to learn from what we went through. It's a real tragedy sometimes, guys. And I know this isn't space weather. I get it. But I'm sorry. This is something that is important in this world, and I'm not going to not talk about it a little bit. People can get mad at me if they want. I try to stick to the space weather subject, but I have to be who I am, right? Well, thanks, Daryl. I appreciate you, man. So guys, and I think that I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but everything is attached to everything. Addiction, stuff like that, is loosely attached in some way to space weather. How? Well, if in no other way, me. I'm doing both, right? So there's some connection there. And it just, I just don't understand negativity, guys. I never will, because I'm not a negative person. I understand what it is, but I can't understand how somebody can get in such a hateful place that they would just hate on people. I don't get it. I honestly just don't get it. So anyway, all that, I'm just going to not talk about that anymore. Guys, go check out Ron Tyler, Emergency Management. Terry, he's got a channel too, Feed the Sheep. And obviously the bigger channels too, like Dutch and everybody else. He doesn't do much on YouTube anymore, but I think he's on D Live, if I remember right. Guys, I mean, there's way better avenues to go get earthquake information than to come to me. I just show it to you because this is pertinent to what we talk about. This is evidence of stuff going on. That's why. I can't give you any kind of technical things. Much like the Schumann Resonance, I would send you over to Verte. Okay? And that's what happens. Hey, Becca, good to see you. Eric R. What'd you say? Can anybody touch on the large anomaly by the sun? That is definitely, Go, there's so much information on that stuff, guys. Scott was in here earlier. But check out Scott's channel, Planet X. He's got lots of pictures, guys. So, yeah. Let's see here. What else we got? I have been clean. Oh, really? That's awesome, Kathy. Kathy, I guess I can ask him, but I really try not to do that. I hate to be like that. I just don't want to get in the middle of anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'll ask him. It's not a big deal this time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I really don't want to know. I'll just say, hey, Kathy did this, or hey, Body and Soul, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll say something to him. Okay, I'll send him an email or try to talk to him a little bit. Thanks, RJ. I appreciate you. Thanks, Trinity. I love all you guys. I really do. And I really wish I could stay on here for hours, and I could. It's just nobody would ever watch a replay. I get, like I said, I'm probably an hour already. 56 minutes. If I go over an hour, I can tell you right now, people are going to be slamming me. They always do. Because I talk about a bunch of different things, but I do try to still keep it space weather related. But I have to be who I am, guys. If I'm passionate about something, when I'm concentrating on something, some of the other stuff that I used to do kind of takes a back seat. You know what I mean? And not to say that I don't still. What I'm saying is that I keep busy. And that's very, very key for somebody in recovery. You have to stay busy or you never will succeed. Your mind will sit there and it will sit there and concentrate on the worst things. And then you'll find yourself in a nasty place. And then the next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. Said, hey, Jed, move away from there. Well, some people have to, right? Anyway, so, okay. God bless you guys. I really do, guys. I mean, God bless. Yahusha saves. You can drink this Kool-Aid, all of that, right? But, yeah, just know that there's people out there that care. Don't ever forget that. You find yourself in a dark place, people here, people on the lifeboat, and people on other channels care. All you have to do is say something. I promise you, you say that in the live chat over on the lifeboat, guess what happens? You get a response. So let me drop this link one more time. And there you go. Please come over here, give us a subscription, and check it out. I mean, if for no other reason, just do me that solid. Give it a chance. If you don't like it, unsubscribe, and that's that simple, right? Oh, something else, guys. YouTube is going through their thanks, Linda. Yeah, I got love bombed yesterday with like 500 subs. It was awesome. Broken fish. Okay, cool. You like the long ones? Yeah, for sure. YouTube is going through their purge season. What that means is that they're going to unsubscribe you from channels you haven't visited in a while, and sometimes channels that you do. So just check your subscription list. Thanks, Beck. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. I mean, you guys, honestly. So anyway, guys, please check out this. If I had to, I'm instantaneously helping people over here on the lifeboat, right? And I hate to say it like this, but if I had to choose, I would, if somebody said, you have to choose one or the other, I'm coming here, guys, to the lifeboat. Because we're helping people, and that's why. I would hate anything to happen here, and I don't foresee anything happening here on my channel. I'm just saying that, I say that to show you guys know how passionate I am about space weather. I am that plus a little bit more with addiction recovery and helping people. And that's my whole thing. That's how I keep my mind on the straight and narrow. So, God bless. Yahusha saves. You can drink